A top billionaire suddenly died of illness, but the distribution of his inheritance afterward shocked everyone. His most despised son received billions of US dollars, his wife inherited all his shares and property, and even charitable organizations received a donation. In contrast, the billionaire's most doted-on daughter only received a dilapidated cellar. Although Lisa felt this distribution was extremely unfair, it was, after all, her father's will. Despite her unwillingness, she could only silently accept it. Filled with doubts, Lisa opened the folder her father left behind, which contained a key and a USB drive. To uncover the truth, she decisively plugged the USB into her computer. Inside was a video recorded by her father, in which he explained the exact location of the cellar and revealed it hid an earth-shattering secret he had concealed for over 30 years. He also warned Lisa never to reveal this secret. After watching the video, Lisa was extremely puzzled. Could the cellar be filled with gold bars? To get to the bottom of it, she secretly headed to the back mountain. Following her father's instructions, she finally found the dilapidated cellar in the woods. She then used the key to open the cellar door. It was pitch black inside. Luckily, there was a light, but the cellar was filled with mist and had an eerie atmosphere, and its decor was comparable to that of an ancient tomb. She had no choice but to steel herself and continue deeper. After entering the deepest chamber, Lisa was shocked to discover a skinny, elderly man imprisoned there. Could this be the treasure her father left for her? She couldn't believe her eyes. The old man sat motionless in a chair, seemingly lifeless. To check if he was still alive, she slowly approached him. But suddenly, in the next moment, the old man moved. Lisa was so frightened that she immediately fled. She didn't understand why her father imprisoned an old man in the cellar. Just as she was about to call the police, she remembered her father's warning to keep this secret. Thinking of this, she didn't dare to act rashly. But to uncover the truth about the cellar, she returned with a gun late at night. When she went back in, the old man had moved from the chair to the bed. Seeing him sound asleep, Lisa quickly took a fingerprint sample from his hand and sent it to a friend at the police station, hoping to learn the man's identity. To avoid exposing herself, she wore a mask into the chamber. But it was no use. The old man immediately saw through her disguise and even accurately described Lisa's family habits and occupations. Hearing this, Lisa had no choice but to remove her mask. But when she asked why he was imprisoned, the old man refused to answer. Instead, he diverted the topic by saying he was hungry and wouldn't reveal anything unless he was fed. With no other option, Lisa agreed and brought him a lavish meal. After eating and drinking his fill, the old man slowly began to reveal the 30-year-old secret. He said his name was Frank and that 30 years ago, he and Lisa's father were best friends. However, a sudden accident drove a wedge between them. One night, after leaving a bar, they accidentally hit and killed an innocent pedestrian while driving. Frank wanted to call the police, but Lisa's father stopped him. Since both had been drinking, they would surely be imprisoned if caught. After discussion, they decided to cover up the incident and buried the body together. But to prevent Frank from leaking the secret, Lisa's father knocked him out and imprisoned him in the dark cellar. However, Lisa didn't immediately believe his story. Her father had always been a righteous man in her eyes. Besides, since her father was now dead, Frank's accusations were just words without proof. But what Frank said next shattered Lisa completely. He claimed the reason she didn't receive an inheritance was that her father had a secret mistress whom he'd supported for years, and he had given Lisa's share to her. Lisa was furious, thinking Frank was spouting nonsense. Her father would never betray her mother. Unexpectedly, the old man even provided the mistress's address and encouraged Lisa to verify it herself. Determined to clear her father's name, Lisa visited the address. Sure enough, a classy woman opened the door. After multiple confirmations, Lisa found that the woman was indeed the mistress Frank had mentioned. Since her father was dead, the woman no longer hid anything and admitted to the affair and to receiving part of the inheritance. Enraged, Lisa stormed out. She couldn't believe the father she admired was secretly such a philanderer. Frank's claims had been proven true. Lisa then went to her mother's workplace to ask whether her father had a friend named Frank, but her mother firmly denied it. Unwilling to give up, Lisa investigated through other means, but all results matched her mother's claims. With no options left, Lisa returned to the cellar. To verify the incident, she asked Frank where they had buried the body, but Frank said it had been too long, and he couldn't recall the exact spot unless Lisa took him out to search. After careful thought, Lisa decided to untie him, using her gun to force him to lead the way. However, she didn't know this decision would lead to lifelong regret. Soon, they exited the cellar. For the first time in 30 years, Frank breathed the fresh outdoor air. But now was not the time to celebrate. They had to confirm the old incident. Based on Frank's memory, they quickly located the burial site. After digging, they indeed found a skeleton. Lisa realized her father had truly committed a heinous crime. Back at the cellar, Frank suddenly knelt and begged Lisa to set him free, promising never to reveal anything if released. Moved by pity, Lisa decided to atone for her father's sins. She went to her brother and asked to borrow $3 million. Her generous brother immediately agreed. Lisa took the money to the cellar, intending to compensate Frank for his 30 years of torment. She also arranged a private jet and hired a lawyer to help him start a new life. However, just as Frank boarded the plane, he cast a strange look at Lisa, as if hinting things weren't so simple. At that moment, Lisa's friend at the police successfully traced the fingerprints she sent and mailed the results to her home. Unexpectedly, her mother was the one who opened the package. When she saw the contents, her expression changed dramatically. She fearfully questioned Lisa about why she had the fingerprints of such a scumbag. At first, Lisa was still angry on Frank's behalf, but her mother's next words left her completely stunned. It turned out the man was not Frank, but someone named Carson, a complete monster. Realizing the huge mistake she had made, Lisa told her mother to lock the doors, then rushed back to the airport. But she was too late. The plane was still on the runway, but the pilot and lawyer were already dead, and Carson had vanished. Panicked, Lisa rushed home and called her mother, but no one answered. When she got home, her her mother was missing. Desperate, she searched everywhere and found a glow coming from the back mountain cellar. Realizing something was terribly wrong, she grabbed her gun and rushed over. As expected, her mother lay unconscious on the ground. Just as she tried to wake her, the old man suddenly appeared at the door and cut the power. The cellar was plunged into darkness. To deal with this threat, Lisa turned on her phone's flashlight and raised her gun to find him. But Carson had lived in the dark for 30 years and had developed an exceptional sense for it. He quickly overpowered Lisa. At this point, Carson finally revealed the real truth. He had been infatuated with Lisa's mother and had raped her 30 years ago. Lisa's father found out and tried to take Carson to the police. But on the way, they accidentally hit a pedestrian. The victim still had a chance to live, and Lisa's father was about to call for help until Carson broke the man's neck and buried the body. Afterward, Lisa's father attacked Carson from behind and imprisoned him for 30 years. Then Carson dropped a final bombshell. Lisa hadn't received an inheritance because she wasn't biologically her father's daughter. In fact, Carson was her real father, the result of that rape. Hearing the truth, Lisa broke down and tried to attack Carson, but she was no match for him. Fortunately, her mother woke up just in time and shot the monster dead. Then she set fire to the cellar, burning it to the ground.